challenges. We'll see what the answers are today. So,
That's where it
I didn't have a problem at home.
is it on guest. I'm not sure. I've got my taxes here.
Okay.
Take a look at it.
You gentlemen ready?
My gosh.
Yes, sir.
Ladies ready? Charles ready? Good morning. It is 10:03 and the Brazos County Commissioners Court will come to order on December 9th, 2025. Today, leading us in our invocation and our Pledge of Allegiance is Commissioner Fred Brown.
Please pray with me. Lord, on John 3:16, you said, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, whoever believes in him would not perish but have everlasting life." Lord, in this time of celebration, this time of Christmas, please take our eyes off of the unimportant things, the tinsel, the trees, the lights, but let the important thing be your Son, the birth of your Son that came to save this world. And this I ask in your precious name, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Commissioner Brown.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. We'll move to agenda item number 2, call for citizen input and concerns. Today we have 3 citizens that have declared to speak. We have 1 submitted testimony from Miss Cindy Wiley as well. So first up, we call Peter Michelina. Peter, please state your name and the precinct you live in, and thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you, Judge. Peter Michelino, Precinct 4. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Judge. Just had a question, I guess, like many other residents here in Brazos County, waking up this morning with the KBTX posting regarding the encryption of the police radios. I would just like to have a conversation and see what the Commissioner's opinion was on it and what the reasoning for it was. Again, I support our police. I think that they need to remain safe in their activities and completely understand part of the reasoning. I just wanted to see if there could be some sort of conversation about that. That's all.
Duly noted. Peter, thank you so much. We will investigate that and get back to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Next, court calls Cindy Wiley. Cindy, I apologize. I thought you were solely submitting, but please, we look forward to hearing from you this week. Please state your name and the precinct you reside in.
Good morning, Cindy Wiley, Precinct 1. You have my written speech, but I'm going to switch it around a little bit because I found out some new information. I want to, and I have given this to our election administrator, Ms. Hancock, so that she understands what I'm about to talk about. So I want to talk about our voter registration rolls. First, we know Abbott in 2021 signed Senate Bill 1 into law and removed over 1 million ineligible voters through 2024. July 15, 2025, AG Paxton launches investigation into more than 100 potential non-citizens who voted in 2020 and 2022 elections. September 18, 2025, Secretary of State signs an agreement with 9 states to strengthen election integrity, focusing on maintaining accurate voter rolls through state-to-state data sharing. September 25, 2025, Justice Department sues 6 states for failure to provide voter rolls. October 20, 2025, Secretary of State press release regarding Texas completes a citizenship verifications in the SAVE database. Brazos County has been tagged having 21 non-citizens. October 23rd, AG Paxton filed a suit in Tarrant County to dissolve the nonprofit JOLT initiative. JOLT is accused of orchestrating a systematic unlawful voter registration scheme. Pictures showed tents were set up outside DMV offices where JOLT volunteers were alleged to have facilitated voter registration in ways that violated the Texas Election Code. Now we come to our county. The above articles mention voter registration rolls who have non-citizens, deceased, and those who moved. I want to address voters who do not show up as registered, yet appeared as having voted, commonly called ghost voters. I'm concerned that I may have uncovered many voters that do not appear in the October 2024 voter registration after the cutoff date for registration, or in the February 2025 voter rolls, or in the GOP Data Center, but do show as having voted or at least received a mail-in ballot for November 2024 election. There may be many plausible explanations, but I, along with a few others, are perplexed. I started out with 441 and whittled it down after removing the FPCA registered persons. There are many variables and questions that I am not addressing here. In the spirit of transparency, this exploration and resolution would be conducted as a collaboration between concerned citizens and our election administrator with oversight from this body. I very much want to get an understanding of why this data presents this way. I'm asking for a task force to be created to vet out this data and report back to this body what was found. And you'll have the top part. I'm not reading it, but I do want to address it just quickly regarding, is it time to have an honest, fair-minded conversation regarding the funding of 2 salaries for 1 elected seat? Thank you.
Ms. Wiley, thank you so much. The court now calls Kathy Veens. Ms. Veens, thank you for being here. Please state your name and the precinct you reside in.
Good morning, Judge,
Good
Commissioners.
morning.
Kathy Veens, Precinct 4. I had a couple things I wanted to bring up. One is on the agendas, we have the redacted payment of claims, and I would like the court to have those unredacted. It's a ruling that the court has oversight for, and I don't see any reason, and there's never been a published justification of the legality of redacting the payment of claims. And I have been able to successfully get copies of the unredacted payment of claims upon request. So I would like the court to order that it be publicly available on the agenda. The second part that I wanted to talk about was a suggestion I think that you, Judge, had brought up about having department heads come under the purview of separate commissioners. And I would like you to further that effort. I think it's a great idea, and I think it's necessary. The third thing that I wanted to bring up, and actually I brought something to hand out to you, and it's regarding the encryption services that the Sheriff's Office has committed us to. I provided a link to the KBTX news release about that service, and I don't know if it's part of the Motorola agenda item today, or, okay. It's my understanding the Sheriff's Department is funded by the county, so the county would have to have approved this expenditure of the encryption services. I don't remember it coming up on any agenda or discussed. I briefly looked through the adopted budget for 2026. I didn't see it there. I'm assuming it wasn't in the 2026. So I was wondering, when this funding was approved by the court, was it in an executive session? Because I don't recall any executive sessions coming out with a decision about that funding. So I don't know where the transparency is for how much money our county is committed to, if it's a contract or if it's just a yearly thing. And I don't think it serves the interests of the public to have such an extensive encryption service that makes it unavailable to the general public or news services or anything in the event of an emergency. I think I summarized that there. Also, I wanted to ask you, there's many times when there are agenda items, and I just have a quick question, and I hate coming back and forth to the podium a million times to ask a question. Is it possible that in the public portion that I'm speaking at now, that I could bring up questions about different agenda items and trust that you'll answer those questions when you get to those agenda items, so I don't have to get up and speak on every question that I have? I don't know if you noticed the shirt I'm wearing. It's from True Texas Project. It is a statewide organization. It's kind of how many of us that attend semi-week, monthly now, meetings got involved in the Commissioner's Court. We have meetings the second Tuesday of every month at the VFW starting in January, and we'll be having candidate forums. Some of you have been invited to those candidate forums. And we're hoping people can come, and if you can get there at 5:30 and enjoy a meal ahead of time, you can help support the VFW. Thank you.
Ms. Fiends, thank you so much. We will move to agenda item number 3, presentations and/or discussions. First up, presentation of the Sexual Assault Response Team, SART, biannual report by Alicia Rice, Director of Advocacy, SART. Alicia, thank you for being here this morning.
I do have some reports to hand out to you guys.
Please, thank you.
I'll wait until you'll have those in front of you. Morning. All right. Good morning. My name is Alicia Rice. I am the Director of Advocacy at the Sexual Assault Resource Center, or SARC. SARC was founded in 1983 with a mission to end sexual violence in the Brazos Valley. To fulfill this mission, SARC offers free and confidential services, individual and group counseling and advocacy to survivors, as well as outreach and prevention education to Brazos County and the surrounding 6 counties. In addition, SARC is the facilitator for the Sexual Assault Response Teams, or SARTs, in each of the 7 counties. SARTs are multidisciplinary teams consisting of representatives from local mental health organizations, law enforcement, and the district attorney's office, forensics nursing staff, and SARC. The importance of these teams cannot be understated. The Brazos County SART meets monthly to review cases, share information, and coordinate efforts in support of survivors of sexual assault going through the criminal justice process. This interagency cooperation promotes an efficient and trauma-informed response to these crimes, as well as strengthening community relationships and support for victims of sexual violence. As facilitator for the SARTs, SARC is responsible for creating the biennial report. The biennial report, which you have in front of you, is to be completed on odd number years and details the attendance, mission, vision, protocols, and agency commitments to the SART. In this report, you will also find relevant data on the number of cases seen by each law enforcement agency and the district attorney's office for Brazos County through the time period of October 2023 and September 2025. Thank you for your support of SARC and the sexual assault response teams, and I'm available to answer any questions you may have about the report.
Alicia, thank you so much. Commissioners, any questions?
Bless you for the work y'all do.
Yes,
Amen.
Amen.
And I had an opportunity to sit through a great presentation. I took the DA's Academy. I encourage everybody to do that. And you all did a wonderful job. And it's so unfortunate that we have a need. We have to have a need for an agency or an organization such as yours. But thank you all for all that you do, because there is a need in Brazos County.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your report.
Alicia, thank you so much for being here today. Moving to agenda item number 4, approval of resolution relating to, oops, I'm sorry.
One more president, Trudy Hart.
Trudy, I tried to save you. I got excited. Presentation by Trudy Hancock, Elections Administrator, on the post-election hand count audit for November 2025 special election. Thank you, Commissioners, for stopping me.
That's a mouthful, isn't it?
It is.
So we'll talk about some basics first. For the November election, we had 136,617 voters. We had 8,760 votes cast during early voting, 31 limited ballots, 122 ballots by mail, and 11,957 voters vote on Election Day for a total of 20,874 ballots cast. Sounds like a lot, but when you look at the percentage, it is not. That was only a 15.28% turnout for us.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
15.28% turnout.
15%.
Yes, sir.
Of the voting population.
Yes, sir. So I thought after every election, I come up and give a report on the partial manual count. It's what it used to be called until the last legislation. They changed it to the post-election hand count audit, the last session, and also made some changes in how we would do that process. Before the previous legislature met, we were assigned precincts to pull out and count. Now we are assigned locations. So we do count quite a few more ballots than we did in the previous elections. So this time, we were assigned, for early voting, we were assigned College Station Utilities, which is our biggest location, especially for early voting, elections admin in Galilee, Galilee Baptist Church, to do our partial manual, the hand count for early voting. And then for election day, we were assigned Christ Church, Church of the Nazarene, and Castle Heights Baptist Church. We counted a total of 6,987 ballots. So we counted 33% of the ballots that were cast. We had no discrepancies whatsoever, but I did want to go over how we do that process. The law requires that we pull out the bag for that location and count those ballots. We do go one step further here, and we organize those ballots by precinct, and then we tally those by precinct, connecting it back to our precinct report for that location to make sure that we also have precinct exact returns as well as our overall returns to be the same. And like I said, we had no discrepancies in the 6,987 ballots that we counted. So, and there was also a change in the last legislature to require us to use the early voting ballot board members as the counting team for that. So we chose 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans to be on that board, and the early voting ballot board judge headed that up, was the caller, and then we had 3 members on our tally team. Sorry. Any questions?
Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Hancock?
No.
Thank you.
Trudy. Trudy, thank you. Now we can move to 4.
Now we move to 4.
Moving to agenda item number 4, approval of resolution relating to approving a tax-exempt financing by a bank for the benefit of Brazos Christian School Incorporated. I do believe we have Randy Howard here. Mr. Howard, we need a motion in a second.
Motion for approval?
We have a motion by
Second.
Commissioner Conlon, a second by Commissioner Brown. Any discussion at this time before we hear from Mr. Howard? Mr. Howard.
Just wanted to highlight, there's no obligation from the county if this is approved, just for the folks at home.
Did you wish to speak?
I did not. I was here just in case you had questions for me.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Howard?
No.
There being none. Any further discussion, Commissioners Court? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Mr. Howard, thank you for being here today.
Thank you all so much.
Moving to agenda item number 5, approval of a resolution authorizing execution of agreement with the Texas Department of Transportation regarding construction by Brazos County of a pedestrian overpass on BS-6R and control section 0050-01.
Move for approval?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 6, approval of resolution for the Brazos County Investment Advisory Committee.
Move for approval?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? Commissioner Nettles.
Yeah, so do we not have anybody from outside the, no, okay, so there's the bank guy. Okay, no questions.
Thank you.
Make sure we had somebody
Yeah, it's
other
just
than county
it's not
employees.
just us, yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody with some financial background,
yes.
advice, thank you. So that is on the committee, correct? Commissioners, any further discussion on agenda item number 6? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 7, approval of resolution for the Brazos County OPEB Investment Committee.
So I'd like to move to table this one, because I think we need to add, on the previous one, we had somebody outside the county on there. We need some folks with investment experience other than our county employees on this.
I'll second that.
So currently we have a motion to table and a motion, a second. Commissioners, any further discussion? There being none, we have a motion to table. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same side. The ayes have it.
Abstain.
We have Commissioner Watson abstained from 7-7, had a motion to table to 4-0 for the record. Moving to agenda item number 8, approval requested to update the authorized signers for the Brazos County OPEB account. A through B, Kyle Cassell, Christian Villarreal, and Marcy Turner.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 9, approval of the following appointments to the Brazos County Emergency Services District, ESD number 3.
Move to approve A through B.
Second.
We have a motion to approve A through B. And a second. Commissioners, any discussion?
I think the issue is on C, we need to wait until after the primary. The optics are kind of bad on this, so that's why we've pulled
So do-
C out.
Okay. Commissioners, any other discussion?
Yeah, this is your precinct, Fred.
Yes.
So, yeah, I agree. We have a candidate who's been proposed to be, filed candidate who's been proposed to be on this board. Obviously, if he's successful, he would not be able to serve on this board. So,
Okay.
That's
So
correct.
we have a motion on agenda item number 9 to approve A and B. Do we need to exclude C, or the motion as is fine to run correctly? As Motion made.
It needs to exclude C.
So do we need to amend, I mean, since it's an agenda item, how do we amend that to make that change and then vote?
We take C separately,
Okay.
so we prove A and B first, and
Okay,
then
so
we come back and.
agenda item number 9, A and B. They have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 9C.
I move that we table that.
We have a motion to table
I second
and
that.
a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number, oh, excuse me. I went way fast. Legally, can we back up on agenda item number 9C? We do have citizen input, and I really do that.
So technically, the court's already taken action, but you can go ahead and call the person up. as
Mr.
administrator.
Kyle Greenwood, I went really quick, and I apologize. The court wishes you to proceed for comment on agenda item number 9, and I apologize for that. But
Thank
thank you
you.
for being here this morning. Please state your name and the precinct you reside in.
You bet. Kyle Greenwood, Precinct 2. So it's no secret that I've spent the last 4 months engaging with the county government, trying to meet as many people as possible, and that includes the ESDs 2 and 3. For those of you who may be confused, and it sounds like there is some confusion, Commissioner's Precinct 2 is covered, it's so large, it's covered by 2 different ESDs. ESD 2, which serves the area north of 21 generally, and ESD 3, which serves the area south of Highway 21 and all east of Highway 6. In this process, I have attended the ESD meetings in both of them. I've attended a number of meetings there at ESD 3. In fact, I think I hold the record for public attendance at the ESD meetings. I've been twice. So in that process, they made me aware that the board is 5 members. They've been without a 5th member for over a year now. They've been trying to fill the position. It's a voluntary position, no compensation. They've struggled to have quorum and hold their meetings, and they simply said, hey, would you be interested in serving? And I said, I'm glad to do it. So it was as simple as that. That said, if it's the court's decision that this is inappropriate at this time for me to serve the community in this capacity, I'm willing to respect the opinion and go along with tabling this motion until after March. That said, regardless of the outcome of the election, I fully intend to continue interacting with ESD3. As a citizen, they serve me and they cover my home, and so it would be appropriate for me to be involved there. And as we all know, citizenship requires participation, and the meetings are open to the public, so I encourage other people to be there as well. So that said, If you have any questions for me or about my qualifications for this position, I'm happy to answer those for you now.
Mr. Greenwood, thank you, and I concur. It is important to attend the ESDs. I'm sad that I've missed your record by one attendance myself. I
Thank
might
you.
have to show up to counter your effort. Thank you for understanding and attending those meetings. And willingness to wait till March, which is yet but 70 days away, thank goodness. Agenda item number 10, approval requested for the Fleet Services to accept a donation of 8 sets of ballistic glass in the amount of $58,516.93 from Operation Safe Shield.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion?
I just want to call out that while the actual shields are wonderful, they are a real pain in the bottom for whatever glass shop decides to take it on and install them. There's a lot of modification that needs to be done. And we have a private citizen, Silas Garrett, that continues to take that on. So very happy for these donations, and thank you, Silas, for putting up with it.
Is he here?
And I want to thank Carl Dorn and his group,
Yes.
Operation Safe Shield, who constantly work to make sure that our first responders, law enforcement folks get
Right.
these in their vehicles so that they can
Right.
be safe.
Yeah.
Commissioner Watson?
No comments, just, again, same thing. Anything we can do to keep our first responders safe.
Amen. Commissioners, any further discussion? There being none, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Moving to agenda item number 11, approval for acceptance of donated or unclaimed property items left by inmates leaving the Brazos County Detention Center for the month of June 2025.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 12, approval of the following job description.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion?
I just wanted to say
Commissioner
this,
Condrela.
this position has been JDQ process approved. It's also incorporated in the comprehension of benefits study the county is currently undertaking.
Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 13, request authorization to wire transfer up to $1,492,326.89 to the Health and Human Services for the Aligning Technology by Linking Interpol Systems for Client Health Outcomes Program intergovernmental transfer for the benefit of participating hospitals using funding from Brazos County Local Provider Participation Fund.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion?
Just a reminder, these are revenue neutral.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Conva. There being no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 14, approval of the interlocal agreement between Brazos County and the City of Bryan, establishing the county's responsibility of upfront and ongoing cost for CIP number 26-515. CAD upgrade cost was determined based on the percentage of calls for service to county law enforcement agencies. Funding for this project was previously approved by the Commissioners Court and adopted into the fiscal year 26 county budget.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Agenda item number 15, approval of the following as they relate to the lease agreement for the parking spaces in the Roy Kelly Garage.
Move for approval A and B.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 16, approval of amended parking garage lease with Brazos Transit District.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 17, approval requested by the county judge for the delegation of authority for contingency and allowance expenditures on capital and infrastructure projects up to $50,000 per authorization to the following employees: county engineer, director of project management, road and bridge capital project manager.
I move that we table this and we request that they come back that we have two signatories on each of these $50,000. I think there should be some checks and balances, and it's hard to get checks and balances with one person able to sign for up to $50,000.
So we have a motion to table on agenda item 17. Do we have a second?
A second.
We have a motion and a second.
Do we have, does that delay any current projects that we have going forward? Okay.
We do have two citizens signed up for comments, and I will call them at this point based on this motion to table. First up, Peter Michelina. Please state your name and the precinct you reside in.
Yes, good morning. Peter Michelina, Precinct 4. I'm glad you all decided to table this. I had a couple comments regarding it, and it goes along with what Commissioner Brown said, that having only one person approving the $50,000 expenditure, even if it's necessary for continuing a project, seems to be, does not seem to be prudent. We could at least have one other individual signing off on this. And Judge, I understand, from my reading your letter, my perception of it is that you seem to be pretty busy probably, and it's easier to table this and give that right to these county employees to sign off on it. What I would recommend is that maybe we have one of the other commissioners take a look at it as well. If there is a emergency with one of the projects and needs to be signed off on, probably within a 48-hour period, we could reach out to one of the other commissioners to at least review it and sign off on the expenditure as well, giving that extra check and balance and making sure the expenditures are in the best interest of the public. Spending $50,000 for an unelected individual to spend our taxpayer dollars, even if it is within the budget, does not seem to be a good use of our money. And then the other question I had was the reviewing process after the expenditure is made, ensuring that it was in line with the goal for the project as well as what the public's best interest is with spending our tax dollars that way. And the other concern I had, which might have been small, is the amount of times that they're allowed to do this expenditure, and I'm guessing they can go all the way up to our budget. So that was a question that I had. Judge, I don't know if this would be a good time to ask it or not, is would those $50,000 expenditures just be allowed to be in sequence? And also, if each one of these individuals is spending $50,000 on different projects at the same time, how much is that going to add up to, over the course of a year? It seems like it's a lot of money being spent, even though the amount is small in proportion to the scope of money that the county spends in a year. Just be good to have another check and balance on it.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you, Judge.
The court now calls Cindy Wiley. Please state your name and the precinct you reside in.
Cindy Wiley, Precinct 1. Mine is short and sweet. I mirror everything Peter said. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wiley. Commissioners, we have a motion to table and a second on agenda item number 17. Is there any further discussion?
Yes,
Mr. Connerly.
Judge. As I read the backgrounder for this, they can only approve from existing contingency or allowance of line items already approved by the court as part of the project funding structure. I'd love to talk to someone in staff that can maybe clarify this for me a little bit. But as I read that, it sounds like there's already existing contingency on the project that they would be allowed to approve from that, or line items already approved by this body as part of the project, but maybe they need to be utilized quicker, and so they're to keep from having a delay, they're allowing them to approve up to $50,000 per authorization. It shouldn't be characterized as $50,000 each time. It could be $2,500. It is up to $50,000.
The maximum.
Yeah, Mr. Wonderful, do you have a minute to come up and talk with me?
I think Ms. Payne was,
Miss Payne.
or who was,
Or, Mr. Wonderful. No, is it Miss Payne or Mr. Wonderful?
we had Ms. Turner, Ms. Payne, and Mr. Wonderful all stand up. So,
Let's say a full suit.
Mr. Went, thank you for coming up here.
Did my gibberish make sense? Am I reading that correctly?
So
These are approved items.
So as I understand it, this is talking about contingency. These are
Right.
items that are within a contract, within the budget, within the confines of the contract that the Commissioners Court has already approved. It's not somebody randomly going and saying, hey, I want to buy this for $50,000 or whatever the number is. It's something that's within the contract that the court approved. And so it is operating within the tolerances, the confines that the court has allocated.
Correct.
Now, as far as, how many people sign off on it or any of that, I don't have any opinions on that. But this is something that the court has already approved.
Mr. Wonderful,
Yes, sir.
6'7". Does-
I think he's like 5'6" on a good day.
No, he made a bet with me this morning. He said, if you if you say 6'7" in court, I'll give you 25 cents. So he left 25 cents on my desk, so
Nice.
that's mine.
Pictures.
Does it hurt to have two signatures? It doesn't hurt to have two signatures, does it?
The only thing that I don't think that it necessarily hurts to do that. It's availability. And so historically, the judge has always signed off prior to Judge Cassell currently. The judge has always signed off on contingencies. And sometimes the judge is in that position is very, very busy with other things going on. And so we've asked for and received some allocation for other folks to be able to sign those. Sometimes they are very timely. Our timeliness is needed to stop or to keep the work from stopping at some point. And so could there be the possibility of two people signing off on it? Certainly, that could be, as long as it doesn't infringe on or impede the ability of the project to maintain some kind of progress.
It just adds transparency, Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, to my comments.
Sure.
I just wanted to clarify that background information because I don't want the public thinking as this reads in court, if you haven't heard or read the background information provided to the court or that any public could look at, it sounds as though someone can just willy-nilly spend $50,000 if they seem like they want to, and I'm trying to establish that is not the case. And I'll repeat myself, they can only approve from existing contingency or allowance of line items already approved by this court as part of the project funding structure.
Which by definition would be the first signature.
Yeah.
And I believe we have enough checks and balances, and I trust our financial person, our auditor, and I trust the folks who are listed here in terms of their integrity, that they would do the right thing as it relates to helping us progress our projects in a way that is timely, but also, again, we have enough checks and balances and auditing enough to know that, somebody's not going to make off with $2,500 or up to $50,000. I just believe we have that system in process, and I trust the people that we have potentially assigned to do that.
My second point was that if there's going to be a second signator, that we have a list of who those might be, not just the one person, because we don't want to hold up progress on road and bridge. That costs, or county engineering or project management, that costs the county a lot more money when we hold up projects. So if we're going to have a second signature, that could be one or two or three different people, again, so that someone can be gotten a hold of.
So currently, the county judge or the purchasing agent can approve this, correct? So we already have two people able to approve dipping into contingency. That's where a project exceeds what we budgeted for it, correct? So this would.
It doesn't exceed it, Commissioner, as far as the contingency.
Dip into the contingency, you're exceeding what the original cost was. That's why you set aside the contingency. It's there in case you go over what the estimate is.
So I think there's a definition of contingency. So the contingency in the budget, in the normal budget, is separate and apart.
I'm talking about contingency for the project.
For the project, is that number is within the total budget for that project.
Yeah,
that
I got that.
So
but
if
it's part of money we set aside that's over what was originally estimated.
No.
We estimate a project and then we add contingency in case it runs over, right?
So if we have I'm gonna use fake numbers. These are just pulled out of thin air.
For an example.
If we have a $10 million project, we typically use about 5% roughly, depending on the complexity and all that of the project. We typically use about 5% as just a magic number. And so we do and I'm a math on the fly in front of everybody. I'm gonna embarrass myself, but say it's $500,000. We have that contract will be for $10,500,000.
Right.
And so it is anticipated that we have the flexibility that project management or whoever maintain that flexibility if there's something unbeknownst to the design team or they encounter a dead dog bones and they got to figure out what that is, that we need to investigate that it's not something that would hold us up. And so.
And that's not the point of what I'm saying. It's not the dollars. It's right now we already have two people. You or the county judge can approve dipping into the contingency.
Yes, sir.
We need three more.
No.
So we'd have five now who could approve
No.
dipping into the contingency?
Okay, so was that toward mine?
Well, no, I'm just reading the document.
Right.
Currently, we have, on paragraph 2, it says the county judge or the purchasing agent.
Concur.
And we are adding the county engineer, the director of project management, and the road and bridge capital project manager. So now we'll have 5?
No, I don't agree. Is
No,
that correct?
I didn't get that, no.
I think we're giving the county engineer herself, the direct project manager himself.
Well, no, I'm not saying that they all have
Contingency
to.
within inside their budget, correct?
Right, I'm not saying that they would have to all sign. I'm saying that we're now allowing 5 people to approve this.
The
Instead
pool
just
of
the 2.
available candidates to sign off on contingency, I don't know what the intent is. I apologize, this isn't my item, but the pool of available candidates is currently 2.
Right.
And it would expand to include additionally 3 more candidates to be able to sign off on this.
Which is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're saying we go from 2 possible people that could do it to 5 possible people that could do it. Right, you're both saying the same thing, I think.
Yeah, but all we're asking for is that 2 people sign off on it, 2 of the 5. That's what the whole issue is.
Then what's the point of doing this agenda? Then it should stay with the 2 people that are already there.
No, I see, so again, for me, it's 2 items. It was explaining the background because I didn't like the implication of the way that this read out for someone that wasn't familiar with how it sounds like we're just authorizing someone to do it. But the idea of a second signature among that population of 5 people, I don't have a problem with that. It's I just wanted to give background information there. So, is a motion to table or change, and what's the?
Their motion was to table, and they had a second, and we're in discussion.
Okay.
And a simple request of the agenda item was to allow the county engineer, the project manager, and road and bridge capital project managers to sign off on $50,000, which was
Up to-
already
up
in
to-
that budget for that project.
Up to
And-
50,000.
And the
Up
motion
to.
was to table it, to bring it back to us next week, or, whenever, adding the fact that 2 people sign off.
Which
So-
we as the court have already approved those budget items.
So I do have a question though. So of the additional 3, they're not, so that the judge and the purchasing agent countywide, these 3 would only be for projects in their areas?
In their
or-
areas in current projects
Okay,
that have already been budgeted and approved by this court.
Right. So their scale of what they can approve is, very
more
segmented.
limited.
Yeah, it's a silo that they live in, right,
Okay,
and already approved by the court.
Correct. So the checks and balances have been met for 2 signatures. In my opinion. Commissioners, any further discussion on the motion to table? There being none, we have a motion and a second, a motion to table. Agenda item number 17. All those in favor of the motion to table, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say same sign.
Aye.
The motion to table is not approved. We bring back agenda item number 17, approval to request the county judge for the delegation of authority for contingency and allowance expenditures on capital and structural projects up to $50,000 per authorization to the following employees.
Move for approval, A, B, and C.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Record vote of 4-1. Agenda item number 17 prevails. Agenda item 18, approval requested to issue U.S. bank credit cards to the following employees for conferences, travel, and other department-related expenses.
Move for approval, A and B.
Second?
Commissioners, we have a motion, and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? Commissioner Brown.
Judge, I've got a real problem with this, with why this employee at the county health department needs a $5,000 credit limit when we give everybody else that has one of our wonderful credit cards, thanks to Charles.
And
We give them a
Charles is
$1,000
on his way
credit
out.
limit.
Mr. Wendt, Thank you for coming up. Can you help us understand why Mr. Flores of the Health District has a different limit than most?
The request came from the health department. I don't know if there's anybody here today from the health department to defend this, as would be normally our request. But as I understand it, they book hotel rooms for conferences and stuff like that for such a large department like that. And then we did not disagree with the amount that they requested, based on the needs for that many people, the number of conferences. Very few of them are in town. They have to travel. There's 2 of them that we did fairly recently for flights, and they were not able to make it work within their credit card limit. And so I used my credit card to book the flights for those to try to help them out. So in my view, I thought that it was appropriate, and the public nature of what they do, to facilitate that request.
Okay,
And-
I
and
can live with that.
And in support of that, I've actually had a department person saying that in the past, apparently not all departments were able to get, they were who could do that was very limited. And so because we encourage professional development with a number of departments, that other departments, and we will probably see this again from several other departments and offices, where they will request having a credit card, to your point. It's kind of like what happens when we all travel. You know, our staff has to make our reservations for us. We may pay for them once we get there, but you at least have to have a card on record to reserve a hotel or to pay for a flight or whatever the case may be. So the need for this countywide for those departments where, like I said, the opportunity for professional development happens, I am in support of us being able to do that. We're not saying that the money's not going to be paid back or that it's going to come off of the card. We're just saying that we need at least a dollar amount, a credit limit, for them to be able to do that in a way that is efficient, and then the individual can then use their card and then get reimbursed by the county through the accounting system and the checks and balances to make sure the expenses are appropriate.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioners,
Am I
any,
correct?
oh, Commissioner Watson, thank you. Commissioners, any further questions for Mr. Wendt?
Thank you, Mr. Wonderful.
There is none. We have a motion and a second on agenda number 18. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 19, approval requested for the fiscal year 2026 revision of the capital improvement plan policy.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion?
Just wanna-
Commissioner Condola.
Hats off to everyone that worked on that. A 5-year infrastructure planning that matches the county's highest priority for capital needs with the funding schedule, and transparent priority list and things that make the items that put something into why it is a priority. The requirements making it a higher priority are all included in this. Just again, for more transparency and a financial plan that makes sense, looking at our budgets and our funding schedules. Having only 2 sources to fund the capital improvement project defined, this is just a good piece of work.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, any further discussion? There being none, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 20, approval requested for the information technology uniform policy.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 21, approval requested for the purchasing department for permission to advertise an auction of surplus property.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Number 22, approval requested from the purchasing department to declare a list of surplus property as salvage in accordance with local government code 263.152 and authorize destruction or other means of disposal.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 23, approval of amendments to the following juvenile contracts, adjusting the rate per day charged to other entities.
Move for approval A and B.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 24, award of bid number 26-050, road signs and sign post. Recommended award, Vulcan Incorporated.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion?
Well, it wasn't local, but we kept it in the SEC, so.
Where's Vulcan from?
Foley, Alabama.
Alabama. 2 college playoff bound teams. Thank you, Commissioner Condon. Commissioners, we have a motion and a second on agenda item number 24. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 25, permission to advertise RFQ number 26-079, appraisal services.
Move for approval.
Do we have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion on appraisal services? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Agenda item number 26, approval of the following committee for RFQ number 26-079, appraisal services.
Move for approval A through E.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion on agenda item number 26?
So this is, I have a concern
Commissioner
with this,
Nettles.
that we don't have anybody really understands real estate value on this committee. We have county employees, we have economic development person, purchasing legal, but the value of a 10-foot wide strip of property in certain parts of the county.
Mr. Wendt, thank you for coming forward.
Commissioner, Joe Salvato is our right-of-way agent. He deals with current values of these tremendously. The other part of this is that this is an evaluation committee only for evaluating the qualifications. And then subsequently, the fees associated with that would be passed through the committee as well to make sure. So we evaluate first the qualifications, who's the most qualified, and then after that, try to entertain or come to an agreement on a contract that is acceptable to the county as well as the potential vendor. And so the assessment of the appraisals and all would be a separate after the fact that is done with whoever we're trying to get right away or sell right away or what have you. So I don't know how much technical knowledge is needed at this point in the game for the value of those said right-of-ways. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I don't mean to be dismissive, but
Joe's says right-of-way agent, but he's really, AKA landman. I mean, he's
Yes, sir.
got to know the values.
he has public and private
Yeah.
experience with
Yeah.
TxDOT,
Right.
gas
Yeah.
companies,
Yes.
Much
so forth
cleaner
and so on,
language and
so-
less attitude, I might add.
He's
That
familiar.
landman, yeah.
He's sketchy looking, but he knows his
That's,
stuff.
yeah, he's got that, yeah.
That's the important part.
Mr. Wendt, thank you. Commissioners, any further questions for Charles?
No.
There being none, we have a motion and a second on agenda item number 26. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 27, approval of agreement number 26-081, Oracle Fusion Cloud Testing with Smart Software Testing Solutions, Inc., DBA OPKey, in the amount of $80,000.
Move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 28, approval of CIP number 26-516, radio replacement with Motorola Solutions Incorporated with a total cost of $1,695,848.42.
Move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Before we have discussion, we do have 2 citizens signed up for comment. The court now calls Peter Michelina. Peter, please state your name and the precinct you reside in, and thank you for stepping up once again.
Thank you, Judge. Peter Michelina, Precinct 4. Drank a lot of coffee this morning, so you guys are that's why I'm talking so much. I wanted to talk about this one, and again, coming from the perspective of taxpayer dollars being spent, looking over the agreement, this is a renewal and the replacement and implementation of the county radios. So I had a couple questions looking through this proposal and the bid that was put out. Was there any other contracts that y'all evaluated at the same time? Was there any other options that were looked at, whether it was an option to lease the equipment, or was there any other companies that provided quotes as well? The attachment that was on here was only from the one from Motorola, and it seems to be an extremely high amount of money. I know that the county is currently undergoing an evaluation of its employees as well as the numbers. Wouldn't it be better to look at this need for radios after y'all have finished that study and see how many employees actually need these radios before spending the money ahead of time? I feel like that would probably save some of the cost. I know that certain departments also have extra radios that are being ordered, and it seems like this might be kind of in the area of a want versus a need for the county at the moment. Also, technology moves fast. Purchasing all the radios right now, will these be obsolete in 5 years and then the county's spending another $1.7 million? Is there another option perhaps to lease and then upgrade as you go along? That way that we stay current with technology and then we're not put in a situation where in 5 years we're gonna have to sell these radios again. And then my question is right now is what's gonna happen to the radios that we currently have? If those are being sold and being used by other counties, then are they currently usable? Is there a reason to continue to upgrade them right now and spend this money without maybe putting it back out for bid, looking at other options, seeing what other avenues there are to save the taxpayers money? And then I guess that was pretty much it, honestly. Just looking for other options, looking how y'all gonna spend them, and then if you're evaluating the amount of employees that would actually need them, might be a better time to look into this a little bit more rather than doing another 5-year contract.
Peter, thank you. Yes, and we did that during the budget process. We will have experts come out here to reiterate that. This was half the desired amount at the beginning of the budget. So duly noted that we were thinking about technology changes and only doing half the radio fleet at the one time. But I think we'll have experts speak to that shortly.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Also speaking on this agenda item, Cindy Wiley. Cindy, thank you for being here. Please state your name and precinct you reside in.
Cindy Wiley, Precinct 1. So I had the similar questions to what Peter had, but I also wondered, are these phones going to operate on cellular data or satellite data? That was one of the questions I had. And why is this letter addressed to the auditor's office instead of purchasing department? And I'm assuming since we're asking for 170, well, the 170 is a quantity listed, that's the number of phones that are currently out there, inclusive of the ones that we're going to add to it? That's a question I have.
We will bring Mr. Caldwell up here shortly to answer all those questions specifically.
Okay. I think for the most part, and then I also had a question, are we really going for 7 years of a subscription cost on these phones? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wiley. Eric, if you'd be so kind to come up and help clarify all this with us, and thank you for being here this morning. Eric Caldwell, Head of IT.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Eric Caldwell, Precinct 1. The cool kids, I think. I will, I'll try to address the questions if I can remember them all. First of all, these are radios used by public safety personnel, not cell phones. However, of the subscription pieces that we are asking for with these new radios, they are capable of communicating not only over radio signals, but they're also capable of communicating via cell phone signals and also via Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi and cellular signal communications is a technology that we do not currently have, but we know that we need for public safety reasons. The school systems, for example, the buildings inside the school systems do not really permit radio transmission signals to penetrate, and so our school resource officers working there in the schools are often without any kind of radio communications whatsoever. The same is true within our jail. Our jail jailers, even our law enforcement deputies, not only SO deputies, but the Bryan PD and College Station PD who are bringing detainees in there into the booking area. That facility does not facilitate radio communications very well. And so with these new radios and the new subscription services, among other things, it's going to permit them to communicate via the Wi-Fi that we have inside there. Some of the other questions that were brought up, the cost that we are asking for is a total of 1.695 million. And of that, 1.332 million would be first-year costs. The balance of that, 363,000 and some change, would be paid out over years 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right. Our purchasing agent went to Motorola and said, can we have the cost of the warranty on these devices and the cost of the subscription services, the software, if you want to call it that, on these devices, can we have that prorated out over 5 years, 7 years? And Motorola agreed to do that over 5 years and 7 years for the warranty and the subscription services respectively, or vice versa. The fate of the current radios that we have, if Brazos County does much as we did several years ago, we will have these older devices that are now beyond the warranty period. We can do with those whatever we want. We can send them to surplus, which I don't recommend, or we can talk to BB-Cog. Several years ago, we took that fleet of radios and we sold them to BB-Cog at a substantial discount. BB-Cog in turn...
That would be $1, correct?
Excuse me?
That would be $1, right?
Yes, but I don't remember if it was $1 for the entire fleet or if it was $1 per unit. I think it was $1 per unit.
Okay.
However, a return on that sale, we have been enjoying ever since, because those same radios then were utilized to bring in Grimes County. Grimes County was not in a position to join BVWAX, the Brazos Valley Wide Area Communications System, until those radios then were made available to them. And so BB-Cog was able to get those radios into the hands of Grimes County, and consequently, not just Brazos counties, but every participant in the Brazos Valley Wide Area Communication System, their cost per radio per year has gone down. It went down starting with Grimes County and has gone down every time we've added in additional counties. Now, will BVWAX grow beyond the current membership? I don't know. I don't know if there's a real need for that. So what becomes of these current radios remains to be seen, but we do believe that it's time to replace those units. This is something that we have been forecasting now for 5 years. It's been IT's practice to put together capital improvements projects requests multiple years in advance so that we have them on your radar. Our budget officer can attest to this. We have had this on the radar now for a number of years consecutively, and this was the year. And of course, y'all approved these dollars back when you adopted this budget.
Correct.
And so we're simply asking that you permit us to go forward with this. Now,
It seems like when you had the budget discussions, it was like $3 million and we reduced it. I don't remember what the reason for.
yes,
Do you recall
so you're getting a little ahead of me, but yes, the
Sorry.
total price tag that we forecasted out, including hardware warranty and subscription costs over a 10-year period, was $4.6 million. Okay, now those were I won't say wild guesses, but we are very conservative when we bring numbers to the Commissioner's Court. We do our best to get quotes, but where we can't get quotes, particularly when we are forecasting out 10 years, we can only make some assumptions about the cost increases and whatnot. So we know, for example, that for this first year, we anticipated 1.9 million. We don't need that 1.9 million. That was funded, so there is still going to be $200 and something thousand sitting there for this current year that we will not be spending because we have gotten the price down to 1.69 million total. And again, that 1.69 million is a cost over 7 years. The first year outlay is only going to be 1.33 million. However, to your point though, we also anticipate that in addition to this 170 radios this year, next year, we're going to, in addition to the 170, we're going to be replacing another 75 radios next year, okay? And then 5 years from now, in FY '30, we have anticipated 1.4 million, the cost of 1.4 million to replace 190 more mobile radios. And those are the radios that are in vehicles or, base stations that are similar to those in patrol vehicles and whatnot. So it's a 10-year plan. It does have a $4.6 million price tag, conservative price tag. We believe it to be, we feel like it's going to be less than that. But it is a big investment. It's a big investment in our public safety services that our constables and our sheriff's office provide Brazos County.
And school resource officers in College Station,
Yes, sir.
ISD, correct?
And
Yes,
just
sir.
let me say
Well,
that, I'm sorry, I thought you were finished.
I know I was going to go to Commissioner Brown next, but Commissioner Watson, ladies' prerogative, please.
Well, and to your point, because I sit on the COG board, to your point, I sit on the COG board, and one of the things you mentioned, Grimes County, one of the things that they brought up in terms of the Brazos Valley and the need for what you're proposing, and then the opportunity for us to sell to the smaller counties, they brought up the fact that depending on the age of the system, of the radios, sort of what happened in Kerr County, there was lack of communication because they had so many different systems. And so the importance and the need for safety, I don't know that we'll ever have a catastrophic issue that happened in Kerr County, but certainly they talked about, as you mentioned, what we did with Grimes County. They did not have access to radios. So now from a Brazos Valley first responders, emergency management perspective, it is important that we all try to provide the resources and provide what we need for Brazos County, because citizen safety, being able to respond in a necessary way is very important, that we do what we do. It was an interesting conversation to understand the safety and security, the need for communication that happened in that meeting. So I'm understanding why you need to do it. It sounds like a large number, but when you weigh safety against that cost, and the technology is changing.
Yes, ma'am.
When the question was asked about, how long and why do we need to renew, is because the other thing is the technology changes. It's sort of like your cell phone. At some point, they're using 5G over this, or they're using this over that, and so the equipment quality or usability also goes down.
Yes,
Am I
ma'am.
correct on that?
Yes, ma'am. Now, in addition, yes, ma'am, you are. But in addition to that, I will say that Commissioner Brown had asked that we take a look at other options, and we did. We went and we took a look at a different model of radio, although I will say that they were also Motorola brand radios. We know that there are other brands of radios out there. There's Kenwood and others. However, I believe it's correct to say that universally, everybody agrees that Motorola is just the better quality radio, that you are really throwing good money after bad if you turn and try to move away from Motorola to go with a cheaper brand like Kenwood, right?
But Eric, that wasn't the issue. And I appreciate you coming over with your staff yesterday, and we spent, 45 minutes discussing this. I just think it would have been nice if we, as commissioners, as elected officials, had the opportunity to look at what the options were, whether it was a different company, whether it was a leasing, whatever it was. That, to me, is an important issue that was never discussed. I know that this is already figured in our budget. We already approved it. But I would like to be in the discussion of these type of things, especially when you're talking about this much money. I told you yesterday, there's a big difference between wants and needs. And let me tell you about the big train that's coming down the track that's coming right at us. Our governors are running around the state telling everybody, if you'll elect me one more term, I'm gonna get rid of property taxes. But in the same breath, he's saying to the public, you need to go back to your cities and your counties, and you need to get them to lower their cost. lower their expenses, even to the fact that maybe you need to go back and have a rollback election. And you know what that would do to any of us if we had to have a rollback election. But he's putting all the onerous on the local communities to get the taxes down. What he didn't say was, it's the state comptroller that calls the appraisal district and says, hey, appraisal district, if you want more money for your schools, you better get your property values up. He didn't say that, but he put it on us that it's our responsibility to lower our cost. So that needs to be out there, because there's gonna be a point that we have to look at the difference between wants and needs.
Right.
And my whole issue with you yesterday was the fact that initially you'd only asked for six radios for IT, and then in the next email thread, you needed 21 for IT,
Well-
which that in itself was $181,000.
Well, but as we tried to explain yesterday, the total 21 was always part of the solution.
Well, why in that email thread was 6,
Well,
the number?
So as we stated yesterday, there was always a total of 21. 15 of those 21 were going to be expensed directly to those departments that are, we assume.
And we're talking about backup radios, correct?
Backup radios.
Okay, just want to be
In
clear.
addition to those 15 that were scattered amongst the other departments, there were another 6, because we just know from experience that throughout the year, things are going to come up, be it radios that go down that need to go back in for warranty work, that are then out of service for a considerable amount of time, and meanwhile, we've got to hand out a loaner radio. So there was going to be 6 that were going to be maintained under IT's control. The remaining 15 were going to be under the control of these other departments. However, I believe it was budget, and if it wasn't budget, it would have been auditor, but one of the other 2 departments didn't suggest, but insisted rather, that since those radios were not going to be put into service immediately amongst the other departments, they needed to be kept as a collective. And so those other 15 were brought in and added to our 6. That brings us up to the total of 21. We never increased the radio count. We didn't increase the cost. It was just a matter of where those things were going to live.
Is that part of the new math? I'm gonna hold my nose and vote for this, because I know it's important that we have it. But I want us to start thinking because what the governor said, we need to start thinking about anytime staff comes to us with something that's gonna cost a lot of money, we need to start thinking about wants and needs. Because he's put the onus on us that we have to reduce our expenses, and he's telling the public that everywhere he goes, all over the state of Texas. So.
But that's the definition of unfunded mandates, that the onus of that, so there are laws and guidelines and requirements for the counties and the cities to operate. Yet the funding, what you're in essence saying is, he's saying, operate your counties, but we're to make me so I can run for office and look good, I'm going to put the onus on you to cut your costs. But in some cases, we're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's wrong what he's saying.
Then if we have a catastrophic situation like in Kerr County, now this is not directed to you, in Kerr County, then, the county didn't manage, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. But the onus is that, and the citizens will come back to me and say, why didn't Brazos County do X, Y, Z? Why did we have this happen? And so, it's technically it's not his problem.
No,
It's just
no.
what we're up against, and so how we manage, and we do have a fiduciary responsibility to manage the money well and to be conservative in what we do, but it does not take away the fact that this is an absolute need. Like I said, sitting in that meeting and with all of those counties and hearing what the issues are, we can start with this and hope that it lasts through whatever the next few years of the unfunded mandates or the reduction in funding or the cut in taxes, whatever the case may be, so
Yes,
that
ma'am.
politics can invade the operation of our county.
Yes, ma'am. Well, so Commissioner Brown, just so that I'm clear,
Yes.
you said something a moment ago that you wish that y'all had been, I guess, to paraphrase, you wish you had been part of this earlier, or are you thinking that there should have been much more discussion during the budget, construction, and adoption time, or would you have preferred a workshop?
I would have preferred a workshop.
Workshop prior to
Yeah,
this?
just
Okay.
so we could have seen what our options are.
Okay.
Because we don't know. I mean, and I'm not taking anything away from you or your staff, because y'all do an excellent job. I'm just saying that when you talk about an expenditure of this magnitude or anything else like this, then we ought to be included in the discussion. And in the past, we haven't been. I think we're moving toward that, but I'd like to be included in those discussions in the future.
Mr. Caldwell, I think we have a question from, or discussion with Mr. Condola Nettles. We'll go with Mr. Condola first.
Just the one thing that, Eric, thank you for that explanation also too about how IT had the additional radios put under their umbrella.
And that wasn't our choice.
No,
It
it
just-
sounds like you were forced to do it.
Not that it matters. I mean, other than just supporting these
Yeah.
devices, we don't really have a dog in the hunt, so to speak.
It's not important who did it, but their initials are Nina.
I just saw that. She said I did it. Yeah, that's it.
But
Well, you're
thank
off
you
the
for that
Christmas card
explanation. For that explanation. The only thing I heard asked that wasn't answered yet was the looking at leasing versus purchase.
Yes,
Could you
thank
go
you.
into that, please?
So we actually asked about that. There is not, Motorola does not offer a lease program. They have a program which I have not yet been able to study. I only learned about this morning. They do have some sort of a financing vehicle, but not a lease program.
And that financing vehicle did not pencil out to be any advantage. The only other thing I didn't hear mentioned was their break and replace program is outstanding. And not everyone has the iron grip and sure-handedness of Donald Lampo. So these could potentially become broken, left on a car, in an emergency situation, whatever. So their break and replace warranty on this is also a great deal for the county. Because these are expensive radios.
They are.
Commissioner Nettles.
So, Eric, thank you and your folks for the work on this and your explanation. I mean, one of the things I think is critical, you know, having been the head of a statewide law enforcement organization, you lose contact with an agent or a law enforcement officer, you putting them at risk. And we want to make sure that wherever they're at, we can reach out and tell them the threats that they're facing and make sure we're communicating with them. So I support this and support y'all, all the effort y'all put into it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nettles.
And thank you
Commissioner
for-
Watson.
I was gonna
I was
say,
just gonna ask one question about if we were to go to a different brand, but we still had our old ones, do they communicate?
As long as whatever brand we were to move to, as long as it supports what's known as the P25 communications protocol, then yes. I will say, though, that one of the questions that was raised earlier concerns the encryption. Now, the decision to have every agency around here encrypt simultaneously, that was not my decision. However, I will say, though, that in investing in these Motorola radios, the models that we had been investing in all this time, those models had the hardware-based encryption already built into the radio, and so we were capable of simply programming them to start encrypting that radio traffic. There was not an additional cost associated with that.
Thank you.
And so I believe that was
Part of the question, yes.
one of the questions
Yes.
from the gallery back here. It did not cost us anything more other than the person hours to get in there and program this. Some of that we were able to program over the air. Some of those we actually had to go hands-on, touch them. I will say, though, that some of the features that we are asking for here, we could forego. We could add them on later on if we decided that we wanted to. That's one of the options that we were looking at for Commissioner Brown. Encryption, however, is one of those things you don't want to forego up front. It's like, to borrow a phrase from one of my staff this morning, it's like you can buy a truck with heated seats. You could buy a truck without heated seats. If you opt to go the less expensive, buy the truck without the heated seats, to retrofit it after the fact is nearly impossible and exorbitantly expensive. So you don't want to buy a radio that does not have encryption already built in at the hardware level, because that way you go in and you try to retrofit that radio, it's just not gonna be cost effective to do that. You want to get these radios with that encryption capability already built in.
Commissioner Conover.
I was just gonna say, with regard to, especially, I thank you for bringing up that point about the schools. You know, it's 2025, and we've been blessed so far not to have these kinds of tragedies, but school shootings, we get a population of a growth of 1 million people a few times a year at A&M games. We're a growing community. You've been working on this for 5 years. This is a need, not a want. I appreciate you getting up and answering those questions.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll try to do a better job in the future of maybe asking for workshops before something like this comes up.
Eric, thank you and your
Thank
team.
you, Eric.
Commissioners, any further questions for Mr. Caldwell?
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
There being none. Thank you. Commissioners, would you like to call any other department heads up over agenda item number 28?
I just wanted to ask Trevor if he had heated seats in his new Toyota. Oh, okay, so you haven't gotten it yet, huh?
Judge,
Okay.
Judge, Constable Lampo wants to speak.
Constable Lampo, thank you.
Donald Lampo, Constable Precinct 2. This encryption, the sheriff's sitting behind me, he can tell you, we have people show up to our scenes when they're trying to get them secure and stuff that have radios that are listening to us. We don't need that. Their hands are full. Our hands are full trying to get things under control. We have the media there. We have just general public come get in the way. Am I wrong, sir? I'll say it if you don't want to, but that's fine. But this is for our safety, and my guy's safety, his guy's safety, Brian's police safety.
And the integrity of the scene.
I'm worried about my safety. I want my guys to go home at night, just like he wants all his guys to go home at night. This is a way for us to go home at night.
Yeah, that's good.
Well
Constable
said.
Lampo, thank you for that clarification. Commissioners, we have a motion and a second. Vast discussion on agenda item number 28. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Agenda item number 29, consider and take action on Welborn Special Utility District utility permit to install 300 feet of water line and construct 2 road bores within right-of-way of Milliken Cutoff Road. Site is located in Precinct 1.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 30, consider and take action on the Frontier Communications utility permit to directional bore fiber conduit within the right-of-way of the following county roads in Precinct 2.
Move for approval A and B.
Second.
A motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 31, consider and take action on the Comcast utility permit directional bore fiber optic conduit within the right-of-way and construct road bores under the following county roads in Precinct 4.
Move approval.
A and B.
A and B.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 32, consider and take action on the Comcast utility permit to construct road bore under West 28th Street to provide internet services. Site is located in Precinct 4.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 33, budget amendments.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion?
I just want to say, talk about unfunded mandates. Our jail medical staff we're required as a county to provide health care for our guests while they're in our Gray Bar Hotel. And we have to provide a certain level of health care. That is a state mandate. This is a huge chunk of our annual budget as a county. And the unsung heroes are the jail medical staff. That's a challenging, both because of the clientele and the environment you're in, challenging place to work. Julie Anderson and her team do a great job. These are one of the names you don't hear in the news and media and don't get the props. These are the people like that serving their position well are what make this county run. And I just want to call out jail medical staff and thank them for all of their work, and proud to approve this budget amendment.
Commissioner Brown.
Did I read this wrong, that there's $9,000 a month set aside for elevator repairs across the street at our wonderful parking garage? Anybody answer that? Nina?
Reluctantly, Mrs. Payne and Mr. Lampkin are on their way up. Okay.
I don't have radio.
Good morning.
They have 21 spares, go get you one.
You know-
Well, she's the reason they have 21.
I don't know if you want me with the radio or taser. Nina Payne, Budget Officer. Yes, there's additional $9,000 because we have a contract for elevator maintenance between the Expo admin building, the jail, us. And so at the time, we did not have the contract amount for the elevators, for the parking garage, and for CSED building. So that's why there's a budget
But
amendment.
it's $9,000 a month?
A year.
Oh, a year, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Year.
Includes the courthouse also.
That's easier to swallow.
And
So
it's
it
not- it's
includes
not just-
multiple
But it's
buildings.
not just the
Okay.
part.
It's just for the parking garage and CSE building, correct?
Oh, okay.
Okay,
The additional,
yes,
yes.
So I
thank
mean, the
you.
elevator in the parking garage will actually work?
Yes,
One of these days.
yes. I've used them.
Yes.
Yes, I've used them.
Thank you.
Nina, Bob, thank you. So we have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any further discussion on agenda item number 33? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 34, personnel change of status.
Move for approval?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Agenda item number 35, payment of claims.
Move for approval?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Commissioners, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. We will skip over agenda item 36 and 37 into agenda item number 38, acknowledgement of the 2025-2026 budget to actuals by fund as of December 1st, 2025, and acknowledgement of the 2025-2026 contingency budget to actuals by the fund as of December 1st, 2025. Agenda item number 39, monthly report from the County Attorney's Office. Earl Gray. County Attorney Gray, thank you for being here this morning. We look forward to a short and sweet.
No pressure there. Good morning. Thank you for having me. I'll go through the numbers real quick. Misdemeanors total disposed, 11,031. Total fines paid, court cost in both the county courts, 662,139. Wanted to briefly talk about just one of my programs. I know I'd visited in detail in regards to the Veteran Treatment Program. Last time I spoke, I did want to just touch briefly on another program. It's a first offender program. Three main aspects to it. One is that it's a first offender, no prior history, no convictions, no probations, including deferreds or any other kind of pretrial diversions. And so this is for folks that do not have a record. And the goal is to, for those folks to avoid a criminal record if they successfully complete this program. We have a limited number of types of cases or crimes that would qualify. Some of the cases that would not qualify would be any of your violent offenses, your family domestic violence offenses, your DWI offenses. None of those would actually be in the program. And so it's a great program. It's probably one of our most popular programs. I can tell you in 17 years in private practice, working at the DA's office for 5, and then being in the county attorney's office here as elected official for 5, I saw a significant need for this in the community. And just to give you an example, one type of case in particular, let's say that we had a situation where, and we have a lot of these on Northgate, where students, other folks lie to police officers. Well, that's an offense known as failure to identify. Even if that person successfully completed probation, and even if that probation was a deferred, that arrest would remain on that individual's record for the rest of their life. It never falls off, not in 5 years, not in 10 years, not in 100 years. It stays on there, even after the person's deceased, okay? And I thought that was something that needed to be addressed. Again, this is not a free ride. They have to do additional things. And again, they have to qualify for this program, but it's been very successful, and be happy to answer any questions you all may have.
Thank you for doing that.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the highlight on that program.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 40, monthly report from the District Attorney's Office. Mr. Parsons, be good, be brief, be gone.
I want to talk just a little bit about our numbers, but also just about the impact of what prosecutors do. So first off, year to date, we are at about 3,677 cases that have been disposed, and just as kind of a rate in terms of performance measures that the Office of Court Administration, our state office looks at, that is about 110% disposition rate. So normally the average is around 90%. We're about 110% as of right now, actually 110.7%. And our juvenile clearance rate is at 119%. So we're trying to be above those numbers and try to be efficient with disposing cases that are in our particular communities.
That's great.
We are in trial. We have all three courts are in trial. If anybody tried to get into the parking garage yesterday, it was a zoo. But we have pending, there is a stabbing case, an aggravated assault case via pointing a firearm, and a sex assault case, all going as of right now. But I wanted to also talk a little bit about the Tree of Angels program that we do. And so the Tree of Angels program, if many people don't know, is a place to honor victims and victims' families of violent crime. And we do it every December because Christmas is a very hard time for victims. And so we do that at December. We did at First Baptist Bryan, and we had over 350 people, families show up. And it's kind of a bittersweet time because we know that it's a sad time because they're remembering their loved one, but it's also a time to get back and see the prosecutors and to see other family members who they've met during these times. And so it's a great time, especially since we just finished a murder trial with Brian Judson was the defendant. He was a domestic violence murder that happened in College Station. The Brazos County jury looked at the case and sentenced the defendant to life in prison for the crime that he did, was killing his wife at that time. That is one aspect of what we do. And the other aspect that many has not seen is the impact that it has on victims. And so there's a case that involves a defendant named Omar Valenzuela. And it happened in 361st District Court, where the defendant had cases here and in our county to the south, our big county to the south, Harris County. There was one case here, and there were multiple cases in Harris County. Long story short, our investigator here, Tiffany Graves, was working on the case and unearthed the crimes here and down south, tried to communicate with the individuals down south to see if they would take the case. They had many more acts in their county. They decided not to take their case, and all we had was one act here of sexual abuse. We worked the case up. The defendant ended up accepting responsibility and taking a plea of 30 years. But one of the things that happens after that is that the victim has the right to have a statement to where she can speak to the court and speak to the defendant about how this has impacted her. And I wanted to just read a small snippet of what happens and why we do matter so much. Part of it says, before this happened, I had a grasp on the world, as I was just learning about who I was and about my principles, and then I was assaulted. I spent my childhood trying to cope and come to terms with trauma, while other kids were busy making friends and finding interest and having fun bonding time and wholesome family moments. I was constantly clouded by a shadow of despair as a result of the defendant's actions. It took years and a lot of courage to first come forward, and after many conversations and an introduction to Scotty's house, the fear and hurt instilled in me became too much to continue. I spent many sleepless nights full of fear and hurt, trying to grasp an inch of understanding. It affected how I viewed many people around me. Instead of a childhood full of joy and laughter, I was tormented. Naturally, I hated myself. I hated everything. I took it out on anybody close to me. I would rebel, I'd yell and argue just to be heard. I wouldn't drop a fight just because I was yearning to be understood. The defendant taught me a few things: how to fear, how to hurt, how to try and survive, and try to make it through a weekend at his home. I was a little girl and my innocence was taken from me, completely ripped out of my hands and stomped on. When I heard that he was caught and that I knew he wouldn't get away with this time, I never knew how much justice meant to me until it got this close. And for the first time probably ever, I feel as though I can be able to rest. I get to tell the little me in the back of my head that she's okay, and I can hug her and hold her dear and know that he is getting what he deserves. I will have had the peace and freedom of knowing I can live without him having the chance to be anywhere near me or anybody he can hurt. And that will be plenty. And I say that and I read that because many times every case we talk about our numbers and things like that, and those are great. But behind every number is a story, and by every story there's a family, and behind every family there's a history and generations that are changed because of the small work that we do. And I will say that in this particular hearing, at the sentencing, there were gallery members who were there that were there for their families, or the defendant's family was there, defendants in the gallery, in the jury box for inmates, and there wasn't a dry eye in the house from all around. And so that is the work that we do in our office, and I think also as well in the county attorney's office. But you get a chance to kind of see why prosecutors do the job that they do, and it's that person. We may see that person in Walmart or Costco or wherever, and they may just go and wave a little small hi, but we know we've helped to make a small difference in their lives. So that's a little bit about what we do. I'm happy for any questions that you may have.
Just want to say
Thank you.
Thank you so
Jarvis.
much.
Commissioners, any questions?
No.
Fred, I'm compelled to say, we'll let Mr. Parsons' speech reduced to writing place in the record. Moving to agenda item number 41, monthly report from the public defender. Nathan.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners. Quickly, some of our numbers to date in the fiscal year. We've had 40 new felony appointments, and we have disposed of 47 felony cases. We have received 98 misdemeanor appointments and disposed of 110 misdemeanor cases. Our current active caseload is 575 cases, including 21 appeals. And based on our current staffing, we're projected to dispose of 258 felonies this year and 588 misdemeanors. We're currently averaging about 5 days from the order appointing us to our initial client interview, which is an important number because the faster we can address cases, the faster we can dispose of cases. That leads to fewer jail days, and it leads to decreased court dockets. As you know, for fiscal year 26, we received new grants to create a juvenile division and a mental health division, and we are well underway toward creating those divisions. Key hires have been made.
You have some new team members, don't you?
We sure do, Judge.
Will you please share?
This week, Amanda Banger started as our chief of our juvenile division. I'm looking forward to working with her to bringing that division up to speed, and we hope to start taking cases in March or April of this year, as soon as we can hire the rest of the positions and coordinate with the county to begin receiving those cases.
Amanda will be an asset.
She absolutely will, and we're really excited to have her. Thank you, Jess, for saying that. Just to give you an example of some of the work that we do. Last month, we were appointed to a client who moved down to Texas from another state. She moved here to be closer to the father of her child, and when she got here, things did not go well for her, and she wound up addicted with a severe addiction problem as well as severe mental health problems. We were able to move her out of jail after a lengthy stay in jail into a drug treatment program. We were able to facilitate her transfer to her home state where she could be surrounded by her original support network that would be beneficial to her recovery, as well as her future reunion with her child once she is in a place where that relationship would be healthy and appropriate. We continue to operate within budget. We meet our statewide standards, and we provide high-quality defense that reduces long-term county costs. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Commissioners, any questions for Nathan?
No, thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much. That is now agenda item number 42, announcements of interest items and possible future agenda topics. Commissioner Watson.
No, I'm sorry, I don't have anything today.
Thank you. Commissioner Brown.
Just want to
No, I just know there are some things, I just didn't bring them.
I just want to wish everybody a blessed Christmas, and in case we don't see you before the month is out.
Thank you, Commissioner Brown. Commissioner Connerla.
Yes, I'd like to remind the public, there's a public meeting tonight from 5 to 7 regarding the corridor improvements along Highway 30. Those improvements are going to be from Associates all the way to FM 158. It's a come and go meeting, again, from 5 to 7. It's at the Meyer Senior and Community Center, 2275 Dartmouth in College Station. And then a little bit of history. Alfred Brazos in 1955 walked into the KMIL radio station in Cameron, Texas, and began a 30-minute Czech program on Sundays. 70 years later, he's the longest Czech program in the country. He's been doing it for free for 70 years. He's announced that he'll retire this year. I know a lot of Brazos County, particularly I married a 100% Czech girl.
You're talking Yaksimash.
Yaksimash,
Yeah.
Davadi Tholi, yes. Alfred is retiring this year. I know there's a lot of Czech and Polish families in Brazos County that listen to that program, so it's the end of an era. Someone's got to fill his shoes and step up, but just hats off. I know a lot of us in Central Texas have enjoyed Alfred for many, many years. Of course, the Vrajel Polka Van on top of that, but thank you for all that you did to keep that beautiful and joyful music and heritage alive in Central Texas, Alfred.
Commissioner Nettles.
This weekend will be the football game where we have our Warriors will be opposing each other, but they're both dedicated to serving our country. So go Army, beat Navy.
Thank you. My only announcements are we will have the last Commissioners Court next week, or the 19th. 16th, I'm sorry, 19th, oh no, the 20th will be college football playoff game here in Kyle Field. I'm getting ahead of myself. So we look forward to seeing you there. I hope we answered some of the questions and citizens' comments about encryption. We will continue to explore that. I will meet with the sheriff here shortly today or tomorrow to make sure we have those clear, but I thought Constable Lampo did a very good job, and Ms. Wiley on the departments and the commissioners, those will be out at the first of the year. So with that, we will now at 11:45, the Brazos County Commissioners Court will move into executive session. Moving to agenda item number, oh goodness, where did I go to?
36.
36, convening an executive session pursuant to the following Texas Government Code 551.072, deliberate business and financial issues related to contract being negotiated. B, Texas Government Code 551.0725, to deliberate business and financial issues related to a contract being negotiated. And item number C, Texas Government Code 551.087 of the Texas Government Code, deliberate regarding economic development negotiations. For these legal, do you have anything to say before I announce the participants in each section?
Yes, I do, Judge. For items A and B under contract, I, Ed Bull, as General Counsel, have submitted a letter to the court indicating that it's my opinion that it would be detrimental for the court to deliberate these matters in open session. These require a vote, a unanimous vote, to be taken into executive session.
Commissioner, you've heard
So
that.
moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. The ayes have it.
And I'd ask the court, due to availability of the auditor, that we take economic development up first.
Okay, so for item number C, that would be Aubrey, Ed, Bruce, Kimberly, and Marcy Turner. For B, that'd be Aubrey, Bruce, Ed, Caitlin, Charles, Leslie, and Trevor Lansdowne. And item A, Aubrey, Bruce, Ed, Trevor, Nina, and Charles. It's now 11:46, and the Brazos County Commissioners Court will convene an executive session. Girls is good. Girls are good. It's 12:48 and the Brazos County Commissioners Court comes back into session following executive session. Commissioners, there's no action needed at this time. Any discussion on the agenda in entirety? There being none, it is now 12:49 and the Brazos County Commissioners Court